Hello and welcome to another episode of the Myrrh-Bearing Millennial Podcast. I'm your host Jill, and this is my second actual YouTube video making this. So I am excited. We took a 2-week kind of hiatus spring break as my family was celebrating Pascha, which in the Orthodox faith is our Easter, essentially. And then my mom came to visit for a week. So I really just wanted to hone in on some super present time with my family, but I'm excited to be back here with y'all today for this week's podcast episode. So I am kind of reflecting over the past 2 weeks. But before I dive into this, and if you hear my dog scratching, he's outside with my husband right now. But before we dive into this, if you like what you've been seeing, if you love what you hear, if you're watching this on YouTube or you're listening to the podcast, be sure to subscribe, like, share, comment, all the things, please, to help the show get discovered. I would greatly appreciate that. Okay, so today what I'm sharing with you guys is the 3 things that I'm actually really grateful for over the past 2 weeks. It's kind of a whirlwind of emotions with everything that happened. And there was a lot that happened, right? We had Pascha, which was our Easter, and there was Holy Saturday and Holy Friday, and my mom came to visit, and we went to our first ever Orthodox wedding. There was so much that happened really the last week, because she was here for a week and she got here 2 days after Pascha, so really like a week and a half. But it's been 2 weeks since an episode's been up, so here we are. Okay, so the first thing that I am grateful for in the past 2 weeks is the family time that I got to spend with my family. So my husband took the Monday after our Pascha off. So not yesterday, but last Monday he took that off to kind of recover from Pascha. In the Orthodox faith, our Easter looks a little bit differently. So anytime you hear me call it Pascha, if you're not Orthodox, Pascha means Easter. So we were celebrating our Easter, which falls after Protestant Easter and Catholic Easter. So actually next year, it's a big difference. I think our Lent starts on Protestant Easter next year, which is gonna drive everyone crazy because our Pascha is gonna fall like 40 days after regular Easter, and yeah. So anyways, our Easter, Pascha, was not this past weekend, but the weekend before. And it's a really big thing. My first ever Pascha, which was 2 years ago, was the first time I ever attended an Orthodox church at all. My husband invited me to it. He was just learning about Orthodoxy. We were going to a very small Orthodox church at the time that like 90% of what they were doing was in Slavonic. And I didn't understand what was happening or what was being said. And halfway through, I just went and slept in the truck because our Pascha starts at 10 o'clock at night and goes till about 2 in the morning, Saturday into Sunday. Well, last year was the first Pascha I was really attending, and we had been chrismated into the Orthodox faith. And it was one of the most life-changing moments of my life. I immediately fell in love with the beauty of Pascha and remember leaving thinking, why doesn't every denomination celebrate Easter this way? This was incredible. And there's so much buildup. But last year, I wasn't able to attend Holy Week because I had given birth to my son 40 days beforehand. And in the Orthodox faith, you don't attend church within the first 40 days of having a baby. So that way you can really just spend that time at home bonding with your newborn. So my 40 days coming back was the day we were chrismated of Pascha weekend. So I didn't attend any of the Holy Week services last year. So I didn't go to our Holy Friday or Good Friday service or Holy Saturday or anything like that. And so I was able to do that this year. So I was able to actually see everything that happens and partake in everything. Like fully experiencing the way Orthodoxy tells and remembers the story of Christ being crucified on the cross. But then we also dive into Holy Saturday on him going down into Hades and just shaking it all up. And every single part that happens leading up to his resurrection on Pascha. And at Pascha, right? You've just gone through this entire week of so much church and so much remembrance and so much darkened grief, really is what it is. You feel all of that. You feel him being crucified and the way the church walks around with the cross and everything. There's so many emotions. And then you get there to Pascha and you start by remembering again his crucifixion, but then you walk around the church outside chanting and singing, and then the priest knocks on the door and he opens up the church and all of the lights are lit up at midnight and Christ has been resurrected. I'm literally getting goosebumps right now just telling this story. But like, all of the lights are on and you go in and oh my gosh, the adrenaline rush. Like, Christ is risen. Oh, indeed he is risen. It is beautiful. We celebrate for hours and then we party. We celebrate so hard that Christ has been resurrected and until 2 a.m. And then once our service is done, once our liturgy is done, we party. Like, we get our Easter baskets, our Pascha baskets, and we're all eating a bunch of meat and cheese and drinking wine and champagne, everything until like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm pretty sure there were people there till 6. We came home, we slept a little bit, very, very little bit. Very difficult to do with children. And yes, our children were with us the entire time. They stayed awake the entire Pascha ceremony. Henry did not fall asleep until the very, very end when we went to venerate the cross and go eat from our Pascha baskets. They were champs. They stayed awake the whole time. But we went back at like 2 o'clock for the shortest prayer service ever in the Orthodox liturgical year. And then you party again. And we had so much fun. We just ate so much food. At some point, a guitar was brought into the party and our priest starts playing like 2000s alternative rock music. Myself and some other choir members were singing some awesome Celtic Irish songs. We were playing the piano. We were singing Bohemian Rhapsody and stuff, like not what you would expect, right? We're at church, but it is just the biggest celebration and is so much fun and is truly my absolute favorite holiday. I always celebrated Easter being Protestant and stuff and celebrated the resurrection, but I never felt it until Orthodoxy. And then my husband takes that Monday off after Pascha because we are exhausted. This is a very long weekend. And so he took Monday off and we just spent the whole day together as a family. Like, we went grocery shopping, we went to a playground. My husband got a haircut. It was awesome. He got a big haircut that no one recognized who he was. He was growing out his hair for like the last year and he cut it all off to like 1920s. If you ever watched the show Peaky Blinders, he got that kind of haircut. Looking so good. He came home and I was like, hey, you wanna make another baby? It looks good. So he got a haircut. And we just had so much fun together. We bonded together and watched movies, played with the kids, and I also turned off my phone because I put it on my Instagram that I wasn't going to be present on my phone because I wanted to be present with my family through Pascha, just really celebrating Pascha. And that's what I did, and it was amazing. It was so much fun. The second thing that, to add to that, sorry. Some other stuff that came from that super dedicated family time was that RJ and I had some really serious conversations. If you can hear my dog barking in the background, I'm so sorry. But RJ and I had some super serious conversations basically about what's to come in the next chapter of our life. Like, Lent is now over. We're looking into the rest of spring and summer and then fall and what's to come in this next chapter. And we had to have some serious conversations about like some medication stuff that I'm on. So I take Prozac for postpartum depression, and then I'm also on Strattera, which is an ADHD medication. It has changed my life. Everyone has different views and opinions on medications. I am a firm believer in natural medicine, but Western medicine has a place. It was made for a reason. God made doctors for a reason, and use it when it's needed. And I need it. And I'm in this place where I need like so much attention just focused into my business right now. And I'm in what I call my planting season. There's so much work going into the development of the beginning of my entire Myrrh Bearing Millennial business. And so it needs so much focus. And at the same time, I've got some health stuff going on that we're really trying to just straighten out. Nothing serious. We're just working on some gut stuff. I'm now gluten-free. But basically, I want to wean off of the Prozac, and I wanted to go up on my ADHD meds for a little bit. And so we had a conversation with my psychiatrist, and I can't take the ADHD medicine when we want to get pregnant. It's not safe to take while you're pregnant, and that actually kind of worked out. So we are talking about baby number 3. So the plan right now, and I know plans don't always fully happen, God's plan is what happens, but our plan right now is to go about 3 months or so on a higher dose of the Strattera, and then come off of it and hopefully try to get pregnant this fall. That's our goal. So we had some really deep conversations, and that was really great to be able to reconnect with him, make sure our priorities are lined up together, and just seeing how our marriage is growing, how our family is growing, and the goals that we want to achieve in the next coming part of 2023. So that was the family time that I'm super, super grateful for. The second thing that I'm grateful for over the past 2 weeks was Pascha, which I talked about how amazing Pascha was, but also the wedding we attended. We went to our first ever Orthodox wedding. Let me tell you, I 100% love how Orthodoxy celebrates Easter, well, Pascha, and I also love how they celebrate marriage. It is like a story of just coming together and how important marriage is and the bond that's created, and fully understanding what it means to submit to your husband while the husband also has to love his wife like Christ does the church. And just seeing this story unfold, and it was a very close friend of ours. He's actually the godfather of our son who was getting married. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. And then we went to the reception and had a blast. There was a live jazz music band. It was our first like official date day that my husband and I had in a while. My mom was in town, and so she babysat the kids all day. It was really nice. And just getting to see that unfold, because my husband and I were not married in the Orthodox Church, but we are going to do a marriage blessing ceremony, where basically the crowning part of the Orthodox marriage is going to happen for us. Hopefully this fall is when we're hopefully planning that. And so getting to see that was amazing, and getting to celebrate their love and this new marriage was just incredible. And truly such a blessing to be able to be a part of that. And we partied hard. We partied so hard. It's so funny I talk about this. Like, it's just amazing seeing how much fun so many people can have. And actually, one of the speeches that was given was from a close friend of the guy who was getting married, and he is not Orthodox, but he gave the funniest speech in the world that had all the Orthodox people just laughing hysterically. And we just had so much fun. And the reception was taking place under the Ravenel Bridge in Charleston, so it was absolutely stunning being in the water like that. And yeah, so that's the other thing. I was really grateful for that experience of getting to see an actual Orthodox wedding, and then getting to just celebrate our friend's love and his new marriage and his beautiful bride, and seeing that love story continue to unfold within them. Okay, so the third thing that I'm really grateful for is the time that I got to spend with my mom. I'm gonna give y'all a really, really brief summary into this. My mom and I have had a very rocky relationship for a long part of my life. She was my best friend for 99% of my childhood, and then we kind of fell apart. But then in 2017, yeah, in 2017, some stuff had happened with my mom. She used to be a drug addict and is no longer a drug addict, but some stuff had happened around the time that my grandmother was passing away, and I ended up having to get a protection from abuse order against my mom, and I was granted in Pennsylvania the full 3-year PFA. So my mom and I had no contact, and we didn't have any contact for literally almost 5 full years. And it was this past October in 2021 that we finally reconnected. It's funny, we reconnected over something that my biological father had said. This is a whole other story for a different day. But we reconnected. My mom had never met my kids. My husband never had a mother-in-law, so like that's been an adjustment for him, learning to have a whole new half of a family basically. And I had to learn how to trust her. We've been in therapy. She had to learn how to trust me. We had to learn how to be able to have open conversations with each other and be honest without hurting each other or without not talking to each other ever again, and just really grow. And it's been amazing. She got to meet my kids last fall, and then we spent a lot of time with her over Christmas. And then they came down for mine and Henry's birthday. My mom decided to do a kind of last minute, she planned it a month ago, but she wanted to come down for a week. And it was just her. This is the first time it was also just her. Like whenever she came down last time, it was with her girlfriend. And that, like, we've always been with family and friends. This was just her who came down. And we got to spend some quality one-on-one time with her. We did so many adventures. We went to Cypress Gardens where we were spotting alligators. We ate so much food. She made my favorite food of all time, which is peach fritters. She used to make this for me as a kid. It's like kind of like a pancake batter peach thing that she was always big on breakfast for dinner. And it was one of my favorite things. So she made that. We had bonfires with our neighbors. We had so much fun and so many deep conversations, and she got so much closer with my kids too, which was amazing to see. My daughter has been missing her all day today, and Henry got so close with her also, that was one of the reasons my husband and I talk about moving back to Pennsylvania, is so our children can grow stronger relationships with their grandparents. And so having my mom here was amazing. I loved having her here. I loved reconnecting with her. But truly, every day that she was here and every day that I talk to my mom now, it is a reminder to me on the amazing miracles that God performs in our lives every single day. God performs little miracles and big miracles. For this, the relationship with my mom was a big miracle because it was something I didn't think was going to happen. I honestly never thought that my mom and I would be close again. This was a huge miracle. And I'm so, so thankful for that and for that time of being able to spend with her. And I can't wait to go home and see her again. So those are 3 things. I'm just kind of sharing some gratitude over the past 2 weeks, kind of recapping what's been going on. And yeah, the last 2 weeks have been amazing. And I'm really, really thankful for them. And just excited to get back into daily routines and back into normal life. But what I would like to share with you now is I do have a special announcement. I did take 2 weeks off from the podcast. So I have a special announcement for everyone listening today. I have a bonus episode that will be airing this Friday. A bonus episode. Usually my episodes only come out on Wednesdays, but I have a bonus episode coming out on this Friday that you are not going to want to miss. It is titled The 5 Ways Moms Can Make Money from Home. If you've been following me on Instagram or Lemonade or whatever platform, I have really been talking a lot recently about income producing activities, income revenue streams, income tips for stay-at-home moms, whether you're someone who wants to be a stay-at-home mom and you need to maintain an income, or you're a stay-at-home mom who needs to make money, or you're a stay-at-home mom who just wants to make money because you want something for yourself. I've been sharing more and more on this. And so Friday, I'm launching an episode talking about 5 different ways that moms can make money from home, basically. And there's going to be a special announcement within that episode. So you're not gonna wanna miss that. So make sure you tune in on Friday for that. So that's all that I have for you this week. I just wanted to share some gratitude, kind of recap on the last 2 weeks, and I'm just truly thankful for the adventures that happened over the last 2 weeks and everything we got to be a part of and experience. I hope you all had an amazing couple of weeks too. I'm excited to reconnect with you guys on social media. If you have any questions, be sure to comment those, whether it's on the podcast or my YouTube or my social platforms. Send me a DM. I'm super excited to connect with you guys. If you liked what you had to hear, if you have questions, comments, anything like that, be sure to subscribe, comment, like, share, all the things to help the show get discovered. Thank you guys for listening to another week of the Myrrh-Bearing Millennial podcast, and we will see you Friday for the bonus episode this week. Have a great day.